Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST live from Miami. We're at Super Bowl 54. This is 27 for me. Feels like maybe a decade. I don't know how long we've been having Randy Grimes on here, former center for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and always in recovery, right? And
always talking it anyway.
You know what, man? You for me, every year you sort of get another year. I've seen some years where you look a little rough, a little tired here. You look like
thanks,
you look fresh, man. You look really fresh.
I guess so. Maybe it's Miami. You know, I live right up the street in West Palm Beach, so maybe it's the sun. You know, I always say if you can't tone it, tan it.
Well,
tan fat looks better than white fat. Yeah.
That sounds like an old football axiom.
No, it's not. That's
that
definitely
sounds like locker
East
room
Texas,
talk or
right?
something like that. I'm not sure. So this year, give me a little update on I'd like to call it your practice.
Right.
You were one of the first guys that I've met here. And again, this is 27. So what was your first Super Bowl that you came into?
It was here.
It was
all
here.
Started in Miami.
13,
that was
07?
10.
2010. So this is 11th. So it has been 10. Right. 11 years we've been getting together. Give your journey, because folks that have been here, we're going to have Ryan Leaf this week too, and now everybody knows what. There's a hell of a journey, I think, for a lot of football players that maybe was not brought to light before the internet, and guys like you went saving souls, so to speak, right?
Well, and you know, I can remember sitting in Fort Lauderdale Convention Center. I was sitting with Conrad Dobler at a table, and it was the first time I was ever going to talk about not only my addiction, but getting sober as well and my journey. And I can remember thinking, I wonder if I have the courage to do this. And that was 11 years ago, and it all started at the Miami Super Bowl 2010. But you know, I
see Conrad Dobler struggle,
right?
Like anybody that would have laid eyes on him.
Oh my gosh, and his knees. You know, he had so many knees and infections and MRSA and spacers, and I mean, he went a long time without any knee joints. It was insane what that guy was going through. But my journey started back September 22nd, 2009. You know, I got addicted while I played for the Bucs. I was that guy who was going to stay out on the field no matter what, and no matter what looked like taking handfuls of pain pills. And then I took that addiction into my private life. It lasted another 20 years. I'm looking at my wife. She's the one who's survived all the hell.
You know what I think of? I think of North Dallas 40.
Exactly.
Literally. And
pretty
you guys
much.
nod your heads. And, you know, I think of that movie, and I saw that movie when I was 8 years old.
Right,
you know,
right.
And I think of that lifestyle.
That's exactly the way it was. Open drug safes, and if the drug safe was ever locked, we had 3 white guys that started on defense, and their jersey numbers were the combination to the drug safe. So we had access to narcotics, and you know, but at the time you look at it like a necessary evil. I want to be the best center that played the game. I want to play every down of every game and every practice. You know, I want to feed my family. So you don't look at it like for what it really is, an addiction. It's a necessary evil.
When it means to an end.
But it really is an addiction. You know, life was already getting unmanageable, and in that 10 years that I was with the Bucs, nobody ever questioned me or ever said, Randy, why are you slurring your words? Why are you nodding off in meetings? Why are you late to meetings every day? Why are you the last one to leave the building every night and pills are missing out of the drug safe? You know, why are you asking your teammates for their pills? Nobody ever questioned me because I was always playing good.
And they
look the other way.
That's it.
Yeah.
So getting to this point, I want to welcome Steve Miranda's here from Journey Pure as well. Talk about the 11 years of getting what it took to get you clean, and then the more than that, the power, the energy to say, all right, I want to help somebody else. Because, I mean, I remember you bringing guys around here that were really in rough shape, and then seeing them 2 years later in better shape. You're going to be doing that a little bit this week as well and saving souls. But you've found other people, investors, that you weren't the only one in need. And there's a business means to that, too. This is what you do with your life now.
Well, and when I came in 2009, there was not a program through the NFL for retired guys. There was no resources for them. You know, guys were out there suffering in silence, and for whatever reason, they wouldn't put their hand up and ask for help. And a lot of it was because they didn't know there was resources. So that's when I started this program, Athletes in Recovery. Started working with the Player Care Foundation through the NFL and reaching out to these guys and offering them hope and resources. And you know, for me, it was so much more than just getting off the pain pills. It was I never grieved the death of Randy Grimes, the football player. You know, when I didn't have football anymore, I didn't know who I was. And, you know, I lost my identity and my self-worth, and depression set in. And
you're a guy that played 10 years, made a lot of money. I mean,
yeah.
imagine
well,
if
I don't know about a lot of money, but I played 10 years. Yeah, I had a great career.
You had a career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
a lot of guys, that happens after 2 or 3 years
right.
because they didn't make it. You made it.
Right.
3 times over,
mm-hmm.
right? Literally.
And I made it through 5 head coaches and 6 different offensive line coaches and 10 different quarterbacks. I mean, who survives that? But I did survive it. And I remember when Sam Wash put his hand on my shoulder and said, Randy, your services won't be needed anymore. I remember thinking, wow, that's how it ends? And I'm not ready. Who am I now? You know, if I'm not Randy Grimes, football player, if I don't have a uniform to put on, if I don't have an itinerary to look at every day, if I don't have a playbook in front of me, I can't function. And I didn't function very well for the next 20-plus years in my private life. You know, I lost a lot of good jobs, a lot of cars, a lot of homes. Friends, you know. I nearly lost my marriage. My children wouldn't have anything to do with me because I was so toxic to be around. But that's addiction. And so when I came in 2009, and I think I saw you in Dallas. We did the we were with Ray Lucas. You know, we did the intervention on him during Radio Row. But it's been cases like that. It's been guys like that, like Vance Johnson. You know, there's been so many great stories as a result of the work that we do with.
And you're up the road here. You're right up in West Palm, right?
I live up there, yeah. But my facility, or the facility that I do all this at, Journey Pure, is in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. That's one of our locations.
Steve Miranda, welcome in. He's the Director of Business Development here. And tell me about Journey Pure and obviously a relationship with Randy and with players and with trying to help people.
Thanks for having us. So Journey Pure is a fully integrated dual diagnosis behavioral health company. What that means is we deal with both the addiction side of things, the sick and suffering from addiction, along with the mental health. So it's truly dual diagnosis treatment, where we've brought in some of the top medical folks in our community, from our medical director to our vice president of clinical operations, where we truly tailor each and every one of the individuals, patients that come through our door, tailor treatment to where they're at. And it's very important in terms of when you talk about Randy and you talk about the history of a professional athlete, it's not that far-fetched from an everyday person who goes to work, who wakes up every day, who has a responsibility to a family, has a responsibility and a duty to his job, his employment. I've been doing this for a long time, and I think Randy and I have connected so well because I came out of law enforcement, 22 years, a little over 22 years.
What force?
In Massachusetts. And so
I got that from
you couldn't tell, right? It wasn't Oklahoma, right?
So what happened there was, you know, again, like Randy, once you're in law enforcement, it's that dirty little secret, right, of folks who are suffering from PTSD, trauma, who are turning to medications to help them get through the day, get through the night, get through a shift. Coming home and having to put a uniform back on and go back to work like they're super people.
We're in Baltimore. We talk about crime and law enforcement and consent decrees. I do a lot of. You know, we're having a mayor debate. So
yes.
You know, in talking about the police, I mean, nothing more important than having our police officers and
and first responders in general.
Yeah.
First respond, military. They go hand in hand. Most of your folks that are now serving this country are in a dual role. They come back. They have a job. A lot of them that are in law enforcement.
Some call those headaches, but we don't call them that here. Some of us know more than that.
So again, in connecting with Randy, it's a truly special connection in dealing with the professional side. So at Journey Pure, we have a few programs that deal with this type of individuals. We have what we call our CPE program, which is our Center for Professional Excellence, which deals with
all athletes or no? Any walk of life.
Yeah,
okay.
You're talking doctors who are mandated to treatment, lawyers who might be mandated to treatment, nurses who all have to be governed and regulated if sent to treatment.
Well, I'm sure if you have a job and you get a DUI and boss finds out, you know, and you can't get it straight, and you've had a career and you're older like us or wherever you are in your journey, that getting professional help, you know, athletes
and it's never too late. I was 49.
Wow.
You know, when I
of course, yeah. I mean, and struggle for a long, long time.
Long time.
There was never a good day for you to want to be.
Yeah, and I always
right?
thought I had it under control. Meanwhile, I was having cars repossessed, you know, and homes foreclosed on. But yeah, I really had it under control, right? I had a wife that was about to walk out on me. So, I mean, that's the nature of the beast, and that's the lies that addiction tells you. And
well, when you tell somebody what changed on what was the turning point for you?
You know, it was a perfect storm in the summer and spring and summer of 2009. Tom McHale had just passed away. He was a longtime guard that I played with in Tampa, doing the same things I was doing, self-medicating his injuries he got while he played for the Bucs. One morning he just didn't wake up, taking opiates and benzos. The fact that my daughter wouldn't let me come around my first grandchild because I was not safe to be around there. I was having multiple seizures every day as a result of withdrawal. And I was sleeping in the floor of a house that we had just had foreclosed on, a vacant house, a former Pro Bowler, former 1988 NFL Man of the Year, you know, former Baylor Hall of Famer and high school Hall of Famer, sleeping on the floor of an abandoned house. And that's when she made a call to the NFL, and even though they didn't have a program back then for players, she knew whoever she talked to at the NFL knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and that's how I got to Florida, and that's how this whole thing started.
Now I know somebody.
Now you know somebody, right?
Randy, real quick, do you like where the league's heading today? I mean, whether it's players self-reporting concussions more frequently, which even 10, 15 years ago, that would have been unheard of in most circles, whether it's seeing someone like a Luke Kuechly walk away at age 28. I mean, do you like where the league's heading, or where can they still do better, even compared to where they were 10 years ago?
Well, it's all about education and exposure. You know, I think they need to expose these kids to more, especially, addiction issues, self-medication issues. I know the kid in Nashville just got arrested, last week, you know, and illegal scripts on him, you know. So that's still going on. You know, I still work with people who tell me that there's still off-label prescribing going on.
Drug addicts find a way, right? I mean,
right.
I mean, that's just that's.
And
that's
listen,
as old as
let's be honest. Team doctors are under pressure to get guys back out on the field. And when you've got guys demanding to get back on the field, you know, the protocol for concussions is good because that's locked in. You know, you've got to do it this way. You can't shortcut it. But, you know, I see some more accountability over the last decade that I've been doing this and talking about what's going on in training rooms across the country, but it's not where it needs to be. And it's all about education. You know, we're not going to arrest our way out of this. We're not going to legislate our way out of this crisis that America's in, but we can educate ourselves out of it.
Well, you always educate me, Randy Grimes.
Oh, you're my hero.
Former Tampa Bay Buck. We also are joined by Steve Moran, the Director of Business Development. Journey Pure. You can find him at journeypure.com. Randy comes by each and every year and gives us, success stories too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We
talk about
every time I see you, I got a success story.
Well,
has a better shirt
you'd have seen me 11 years ago. But, yeah, you know, we're here talking about athletes because that's the work we do. But really this is about everybody. And I want everybody to know that there is hope from addiction. You know, you don't have to live like that. And all you got to do is raise your hand and ask for help. And you can call us.
I come down here to Florida, I can look as good as him.
And one of the last things I'd like to say is, you talk about the NFL, and I think it's society today. We've come a long way. We still have a long way to go. We're getting rid of the stigma of addiction, mental health. Mm-hmm. And I think
Can you imagine as a police officer 25 years ago, you come and say, I'm
never.
You
never.
just couldn't.
No, never.
It's the end of you.
Would you have lost your job? If you put your hand up,
depends who your boss was. Probably
admitting I might have saved my job, but I would have never been promoted. I would have never.
It would have followed you forever.
You'd have been weak.
Yeah. So again, it's the stigma, and we've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go.
Well. Appreciate you guys,
Thank
man.
you very
Thanks
much.
for being a great early guest. We're on Radio Row. All of it brought to you by our friends at Raskin Global, empowering people to choose their financial future for over 33 years. Liberty Pure Solutions, acleanwater.com. I'm wearing the hat. I'm going to be wearing it all week long, drinking the delicious pure water of Liberty Pure as opposed to whatever that blue and green stuff is that Luke seems to like. Pretty water. Still want to drink it. Got to get fresh water. Right? Pretty people, too. We're in South Beach. That's why Randy and I are here. We are WNST.net, AM 1570. More from Radio Row in Miami, unfortunately, with this Chiefs helmet from Sporticulture right after this.